You know, Alan did a wonderful job of bringing up earlier how important it is to just say no. And I liked what you had said in his earlier interview that just because it's an ET presenting itself, it doesn't necessarily mean its intentions or what's best for you or it's something to give our power away. For anyone watching who does feel like they have trouble saying no to extraterrestrial influences, whether it's in the dream time or even in their own personalized reality, do you have any advice, any tips of how to really set strong, clear boundaries?
Yes. And that's actually something that I think is the most important thing right now to develop as an internalized, let's say, a knowledge, or tool for exploration of consciousness, outside of the universe. When it comes to intergalactic communications or connections, interactions, I think that we are in the middle of really important times. Disclosure is coming, first contact is coming, and we are in the course of developing more of this conscious, connections with other extraterrestrial beings, civilizations, and extra dimensional beings too. So I think that's a tool and a knowledge that we need to understand and integrate, to navigate the most safely possible and to make it the most enjoyable, because it's all about joy, it's all about excitement, So I think that for those who are who need to know how to achieve that, I think that my best advice is that, there is a lot of people, there is a lot of teachings that will tell you that if you have an encounter, you have already made that agreement from a higher perspective, it's something is that is supposedly like a soul contract, something that it has been already, premeditated, you know but that is true, that is completely true, so there's no point in denying it. But the point is that we need to understand that just because it's true, it doesn't mean that it is not meant to be changed, because we are creator beings, and the power of creation is in the now moment. And because the power of creation is in the now moment, we have the potential, we have the rights, we have the power to recreate all of those agreements on this level that will also affect, will be created from a higher level. Because many times people say, yes, well, technically, as you say, we can recreate those contracts in the moment. But how can I do it? Because I am disconnected in a certain way from my higher mind. We are not connected. I am subordinated to the higher mind. And that is a misconception. That is not completely true. What it is separated in a sense is the disintegration of perception from the higher mind perspective of, of you, the exploration, the expression of you as a being. But just because there is a disintegration of perception from its eyes, its perspective, it doesn't mean that there is a completely disconnection from the higher mind and the physical experience that is the focalized, perspective to have the expression of consciousness here in the ego mind, in the physical plane or dimension. That is not true. That is an illusion. So for instances, when the principle, the hermetic principle of as above and as above so below, teaches us this thing that I was describing. So for instances, if you are to create an action, if you're to do something in the physical, those frequency patterns reflect itself in the above levels. So for instances, when you do something, it is quite paradoxical, because if you have done it here, it means that in the higher level, you were also creating that. And so it is the same other way around, because they are a mirror. They are the same. There's only oneness, So that specific teaching teaches that We are our higher mind. It's true that we have been disintegrated in perception, but we are our higher mind. So we always have the power and the potential to set our boundaries and state clearly to the universe what is what we prefer to create for ourselves and what it is not that we do not wish to align with anymore. Because it's going to be heard by the universe, and it is not just your physical mind and ego, it is also your higher mind, because it's always expressing and communicating through you.